end, only one of them gets away. I just want to say that. I just want to say that. That's what's about to happen. Daphne wanting to fight alongside her husband. Kicked and screamed as her men dragged her through the back. Felix and the two remaining gunned. 5 of the, this is so bad. I'm so cooked right now. Like, I can't like write this well right now. Oh my god. I can like tell the story better than I can write it right now. Through the back, Felix and the two remaining. No, I'm done. No, I'm done writing it. I'm done writing it. I'm done writing it. I'm just gonna tell it, okay? And then I'm gonna write it later. I'm too cooked. I'm too cooked to write it. It looks like shit. I'm gonna have to edit this so hard I might as well not even write it right now. But I'll tell you guys what happened. So yes. So Felix took a 3v6 and guns down all but one of them. Felix dies, unfortunately. So Felix dies to save Daphne's life. Mind you, Felix is the ultimate human being, the perfect partner, the best boss, every good thing you could ever think of for a person to be, right? Daphne is, needless to say, pissed. So then what happens? See, I'm just going to tell you the story. I'm not even going to, I'll write it out later. I know the story. So then what happens? Shit gets even spicier because, then that's only the first murder. So Frankie basically tried to kill Daphne because Daphne was in line to become the boss of the family after like years and years of training, mind you. Like, she was not ready yet, but she was in line over him. So he fucking hated that. So he wanted her dead. So ends up killing Felix in the process on accident. This starts a war between the between Manhattan and that section of the Fiorentinos and the D'Amico family in New Jersey. Obviously, Daphne is on the side of the D'Amico family, which is crazy because like it's literally half of her family is fighting like her husband's family. It's like this whole thing. It's crazy. And so after that, her father is murdered in his home. Her father is murdered by her brother. Her brother murders their father. And then, as well, her brother murders the consigliere, Marco Lusardi. And the way that he is killed, I forgot the way that I said her dad was killed. I'll have to rethink that. But I remember that the way Marco Lusardi, their consigliere, was killed was that the will. So after the father was killed, the will was entrusted to the consigliere, Marco. No one had been able to read the will yet. Frankie knew about it, so he intercepted Marco. And Marco was found dead in his home with ashes and burnt paper stuffed down his throat. That was the will. So Frankie murdered him, literally burning the will and shoving it down Marco's throat. So after that, Daphne knew what was up, obviously. Like, you know, she had her suspicions, but she really fucking figured it out at that point. And her brother, Frankie, aka the fucking murderer, was dating her best friend since childhood, whose name was Adriana. Adriana Now, meanwhile, Daphne's been fighting a war this entire time. Daphne and her crew and the New Jersey and the D'Amico family have been fighting a fucking war against Frankie's crew and his alliances in Manhattan. So they've been fighting a war this entire time. And Adriana goes to Daphne and is like, hey, I want to talk to you one-on-one, you know, friend to friend, woman to woman. Meet me on top of the Williamsburg Bridge. So Daphne prepares, first of all, because she's like, this is a fucking setup. So she's got dudes in jet skis in the river below. She's got dudes in motorcycles on the highway on either side of the bridge. In case something happens to her, she can call out, get picked up immediately, right? So she goes to the top of the Williamsburg Bridge. Adriana talks to her for a little bit. Adriana pulls a gun out on her. Adriana's trying to kill Daphne. This is like the final assassination attempt, right? Daphne tackles Adriana off the Williamsburg Bridge. And honestly, this story is way cooler when you hear Daphne tell it in person. It's like way more dramatic and like emotional and shit. But so she tackles Adriana off the Williamsburg Bridge. And this part is way cooler to hear in character. It kind of feels silly that I'm saying it out of character, actually. So like factually. But so they hit the water. They've both got fucking broken bones, like obviously. Adriana hits the water first. Daphne's on top of her, so Daphne gets less of an impact. But Daphne still has like hella broken bones, like super fucking injured. And Daphne, like, even with like a broken arm, drowns Adriana in the water. Like, makes sure she does not fucking stay above the water. Meanwhile, Daphne's people come over on a jet ski and pick Daphne up, and they leave Adriana to drown. So Daphne goes to the hospital. She's in the hospital for 3 months. And when she gets out, she talks to Frankie, and she's like, this war needs to fucking end. There's no reason that this should be happening right now. Like, this has got to fucking stop. And so Frankie and Daphne make a deal. And that is that Daphne will leave New York City, never come back, ever, under any circumstances. Not even to visit, not even to see the fucking leaves change, not even to, you know, go walking in Times Square, never come back to New York City. And she can go wherever she wants, wherever in the world she wants, but she can never do crime, and she can never join a gang. And if she does, and he finds out about it, he will find her, and he will fucking kill her. So Daphne moves to Los Santos, and she takes on the name Malone, which is an old family name that her great-great-great-grandmother used as an alias. So that is how Daphne Malone came to Los Santos. And you'll hear her talk about sometimes how she hides in plain sight by being in the music industry, so that she thinks that if her brother sees her releasing music and being a record label executive and running a nightclub and stuff, that, you know, she's living a public life. Her being a pop star is her living a public life and being a civilian, so that he won't suspect her doing crime, when in reality she is doing crime in Los Santos. And that is Daphne's backstory. I think that was everything. Time to join LS Mafia soon. Soon TM. Yeah, exactly. So that's why when the Italians and Vito came, that's why Daphne held him up at gunpoint, because she was like, do you know the Fiorentino family? Do you know the D'Amicos? And he's just like, no. Because she thought, you know, any Italians that come in, like any, like, you know, she could tell it was like, oh, this is like a mafia family, you know, like where I come from. So if they know my brother and they tell him where I'm at and what I'm doing, then I'm fucked. So that's why she held Vito up at gunpoint. Yeah. It was very vague at the time, but like now that you know the story, you understand why she did that. And of course, Vito and like the DiCenzos have no idea who the fuck her brother is. So it kind of like played into the scene a little bit where, you know, obviously Vito was just like, no, I have no idea what you're talking about. And she's like, are you sure? Are you sure? Yeah. Yeah. Pretty cool shit, right? I spent a lot of time on that backstory, actually. I feel like Dahlia's backstory is so much easier to just write out and to, like, say. Daphne's backstory has so many moving parts. I want to see you really join, and some people make characters of the New York. So, fun fact, each one of my characters has had backstories that I want to bring into the server. So, for instance, Dahlia, remember she had a sister that she thought was dead, turns out to be alive. Her sister came back in. I had somebody play her sister. So then it's like, you know, Dahlia's whole purpose in life is to protect her sister and all this shit. And this is a character that was brought in when Dahlia had already been in the server for like 8 months. You know what I mean? Like everybody thought Dahlia's sister was dead. Then all of a sudden she shows up. And then they were, I was gonna have a mob from Chicago come try to kill her and her sister. And like, it was gonna be a fight, right? Daphne's story, and I wrote Daphne's story first. The goal with Daphne was always to have her brother come back to try and kill her someday. That was always the goal, but I never got to do it. We were almost doing it in good times, but then I left the server and like, you know, shit went down. So I never got to do it. We were right there. There was like stories on stories that built up to it that were going to go into Daphne's brother. Like I had already casted people to play Daphne's brother and his gang. Oh my God, wait, that would actually be so sick. If Cootsie did it? Oh, that's actually disgusting because obviously Felix is based off of. What if Coots played Frankie? That would be insane. Literally the person that Daphne's ex-husband is played off or based off of plays her brother trying to kill her. That was always my goal. That was literally always my goal, was to bring in that backstory someday. But she needs to, we need to have a gang to fight them. Because I'm not going to script the whole thing. Here's the thing. I'm going to cast people to play these parts and play her brother and his gang. But I'm not going to script it. Like, it's going to be real fights. Like, it's not going to be like, no, Coots, we're just fucking with you a little bit. But like, I don't want to script it to where it's like, okay, like choreographed fight, right? I want it to be like, okay, then the gang shows up and then what are we gonna do? But Daphne needs a gang for me to be able to do that. So it's never happened yet. I've never been able to bring in my full backstory plans. 3 years, all good times was scripted. Oops. I've never been able, after 3 years of role-playing, I've never been able to bring in my backstory plans yet. So we'll see. I be trying. Anyway, that's about enough for tonight, don't you think? Thank you so much for the subathon, everybody. That was fun. I think there's a couple goals that I still owe you guys, so we'll go ahead and do that. We'll go ahead and do those. Let me see who's streaming right now that I can raid, but this was a fun fucking day, dude. This was an extremely fun day. And thank you to everybody that supported. It means so much, always. I feel like we just raided Ultra. I kind of want to raid Peppo. Thank you, AK. On to new beginnings. I know. I know. I know. I know. Spicy stuff, man. Glad you had an awesome day. Thank you, Draxus. I appreciate you for being here and modding for all of it. It means a lot. Today was so spicy. I felt like the time went quick. I agree. I agree. It did not feel like 12 hours at all. It felt like, yeah, that shit was insane. I feel like, fuck, I really feel like I just raided Ultra, but I always want to raid Ultra. Let's raid Peppo tonight. Okay, you guys, thank you so much, man. I'm tired and I'm living, so. Oh shit. So. Yeah, I'm cooked. I'm definitely cooked right now. Yeah, so the Discord is where you're gonna want to be. You guys see that? The shout out for the Discord. The Discord is where you're gonna want to be. Oh, sorry. So there's my socials. Follow those if you want to be notified when I'm going live. I don't always post on my socials though, but it's also a really good way to keep up with like what I'm doing outside of stream. I promise you I have a life. I swear. I do things and places. And the socials are a great place for that. The Discord is probably the best place to know when I'm going live though. I usually post on my Instagram story and my Twitter when I'm going live, but I don't always. In the Discord, you'll always get a ping when I'm going live. I don't abuse the @everyone. Trust me. Another subathon in the books. Thank you. I appreciate it. Inspire, you're the best. So the Discord is also the best place to do, we have a meta chat. We have a meta chat where you guys can talk about things that I don't know about, or if you want to check if I know about certain things. But we also have what I call RP discussion channel, which is where I answer any questions and I talk to you guys. So they're two separate things, right? There's for the community and there's for everyone, including me and the other RPers and stuff like that. That's the raid message if you are a sub, and then that's the raid message if you're not a sub. This is the raid message if you are a sub with the channel emotes, right? Thank you guys so much for being here. Let me go ahead and set up this raid. I'm honestly very excited to sleep. I'm not gonna lie. I'm pretty stoked on that one. Oh my god, how do I spell this man's? Oh wow, he changed his name. It's just Peppo now. That's crazy. I didn't know he changed his name like that. Alright. Peppo is playing Red Dead right now. You guys probably know him from Edgar in NoPixel. You probably also know him as the Jack Kettleman who gave me one of my favorite scenes of all time when he slit Dahlia's throat. That is one of my favorite scenes. Top 10, potentially top 5 scenes I've ever been a part of was when his character Jack Kettleman slit Dahlia's throat. Coolest shit I've ever been a part of. One of them. But yeah. So we're gonna go do that. Thank you guys. I'm gonna get some sleep. And I might stream tomorrow a little bit. I might hang out with some friends IRL. But I think I'll stream at least a little bit. So yeah, let's chill tomorrow and we'll maybe do some more spicy stuff. There's a lot of spicy stuff to be done. So yeah, all right. Good night, everybody. Mwah.
Different seats, same guy. Why do I feel like I've wasted time? You're moving pieces like a ball game. When this ball game is my life.
Oh, if you call me when I get lonely, I might say something hardly beat.